I'm going to go ahead with this lighting in After Effects tutorial. I have Premiere open and I have my footage. I brought it in and I named this project in Premiere Lighting in AE. I'm just going to drag this down into my timeline. I'm going to mark it in, right clicking with Big Blue in the front. I'm going to take Big Blue to the back and right click and say mark out. I'm going to right click on my footage. I'm right down here with my cursor and I'm going to go up to replace with After Effects composition. Click on that. The computer will open up After Effects for me. And then I'm just going to name this After Effects project lighting. Whoops, thought it was
H-A-T-I-N-G-L-I-N-N capital E.
Lighting in AE. I'm going to hit save and turn my caps off. Here's my footage, okay? And if I look down at my timeline, I have one layer, and that's the footage layer. I'm going to add a layer. So I'm going to go up to the top up here where it says layer and go to new, and I'm going to say shape. Click on that, and you see down my timeline down here it added a shape layer. Okay, I'm going to grab the pen tool. So I'm going to go from the move tool to the pen tool, which looks like a pair of needle nose pliers. I'm going to click on the word fill up here in the top. I'm up here, and it opens this fill options. I'm going to click on this one on the left that says none. I'm going to say okay, and I'm going to go right next to it where it says stroke. I'm not going to click on the word stroke, but I'm going to click on the rectangle, and I'm going to choose white in the very top corner of my value square here and hit OK. And then next I'm going to come up to where it says pixel size, and I'm just going to type in 10. Okay, and then with my pen I'm just going to go around and create this little squiggly line. I'm just clicking, left clicking, and moving my cursor, whoops, as I go. Okay, something like that. All right, from there, I'm going to open my shape layer. I'm going to go get rid of the pen tool. I'm going to grab my move tool, and I'm going to go down to the bottom of this and click on this little arrow pointing to the right over here. I'm over here to open this. I can also just press U and U twice, and it'll open that for me. So I want to go over to where it says add, and I'm going to click on that, and I want to go to where it says trim paths right there, and you'll see down here it added path 1 and path. I'm going to open trim paths. It's right at the bottom. I'm going to click on that little thing, and then I have this end and or start, end, and offset. I'm going to start with the end, and I have Big Blue in the very beginning of this. I'm going to move my timeline so it's at 4 seconds on here, and that would be right here. And then I'm going to move my little slider of my timeline to match up with that 4 seconds, so that when I hit my space bar,
This is a story about a mother and her two sons.
it just gets to the end of the 4 second and goes right back to 0. Okay, I'm going to put some keyframes in here. So I'm going to move this to the beginning. I'm going to go to the end under Trim Paths 1 and just click on the stopwatch, and you see right here it added a keyframe. I'm going to move this to 3 seconds, and I'm just going to go back over to where I started, and you'll see where it says end right here. It has 100%. I'm going to click on that and type in 0, 0, so that when I move Big Blue and hit my space bar,
This is a story about a mother.
you can see how that moved back. Okay?
This is a story.
I'm going to move Big Blue again, and I'm going to work on, that was the end, I'm going to work on the start of this Trim Paths 1. Move Big Blue to the back, but I'm just going to push it forward to, I think, half a second here, on here. And I'm going to click again just on the little stopwatch on start of that. So I'm just right here. I'm going to click that. It added a keyframe. I'm going to move Big Blue to 3.5 seconds. And I'm going to click on the 0, 0 on start and put 100 in there. And now I should, if I move Big Blue back and hit my space bar,
This is a story about a mother and her two sons.
I get that.
This is a story about a mother and her two sons.
So far so good.
This is
If you didn't get that, you can rewind the video or pause it and go back. Okay, I'm going to add a second one. But first I just want to select all these keyframes. I'm going to select them all by dragging a selection around it. Oops. Like that. And then I'm going to hit F9 on my keyboard. F9. And that will actually put an ease out and ease into them so they're not abrupt. Okay. Okay. Now let's add a wiggle path. So I'm going to go up to add again right here. Click on that, and I'm going to go to wiggle paths. And it opens up down here. I'm going to open this again. And now I see wiggle path, size, detail, points, correlation, spatial phase, and random seed. I'm going to go to the size right here, the very first one. And it's at 10. I'm going to click on that and type in 50. Okay. I'm going to go to detail. Click on that and type in 30. I'm going to go to correlation. It's at 50%, and I'm going to make that 90%. Okay, and I get this kind of wiggles on it now. I want to go to the random seed and add a expression. So I'm going to put some code in here. I need to click on random seed, so it's highlight, and then I right click with my mouse and I get this, and I can see where it says edit expressions. And you'll see that down here it has some code in it already. I'm just going to type over that, and I'm going to choose to type time and the star and 20. So this is lowercase time, a space. And I'm going to hit my shift key, and the number 8 will give me the star. I'm going to hit another space, and then the number 20. And that should give me, I'm going to click just anywhere here, and that should give me this kind of effect now.
about a mother and her two sons.
Okay?
This is a story about a mother and her two sons. This is a story.
Okay. I'm going to move Big Blue back to the beginning. And now I'm going to add some effects to this. I'm going to close this up for a minute. So I'm going to close my wiggle path. I'm going to close my trim paths. And I'm going to close my shape. So I just have my shape layer down here and my footage. I'm going to make sure I click on the shape layer as I add these effects so I don't get them going into the actual footage, right? So I'm just working on this lighted shape, okay? So with this highlighted, I'm going to go up to the top where it says effects, and I'm going to go to stylize, and I'm going to go to roughen edges. It's right down there. I click on that, and it should open in this project panel over here on the left. And I can see that it says rough edges, has edge type. I'm going to change this edge type from roughen to spiky to start with. And then I'm going to go to where it says border right here. It says 8. I'm going to click on that and add 10. And I can just click anywhere outside of that. Edge sharpness, I want it to be 10 also. So I click on that and type in 10. Just click anywhere after that. I want to go to scale. It's set at 100. I want to click on that and type in 150 and click anywhere. And you see I'm getting an effect going on there. Okay. If I hit my space bar with big blue,
This is a story
I
about
get something like that going, just so you can tell if you're on the right track. It should look something like that.
This is a story.
Okay. I'm going to move this back. And I'm going to add another effect. I'm going to close this one up though. I'm just going to hit this little lever here to close this back up. I'm going to go up to effect, and this time I'm going to go to distort, and I'm going to go to turbulence display. Click on that. And over here in turbulence display, I have right here where it says amount, it's at 50. I want to set that to 100. And right where it says size, I want to click that, make that 200. And now I have this effect going.
This is a story about a mother and her two sons. This is a story about a mother and her two sons.
Okay, I'm going to close up the turbulence one by clicking that little lever, and I'm going to add a whale warp. So I go up to the top to effect. I'm going to go to distort one more time, and I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom where it says wave warp. Click on that, and up here in wave warp where it says it has the height and the width. The height is 10 and 40. I want to change the height to 20, and then I want to change the width to 60. Okay, that's all you're doing on that one. I'm going to close this up, and lastly I'm going to add a glow. So to do that, I'm going to add a new layer, not an effect. I'm going to go up to this and add a new layer to this. So I'm going to go up to the top up here on the menu where it says layer. I'm going to go right to new and go to adjustment layer. Okay, click on that. It should have added a new layer down here on your timeline, and it should be on the top. You should have adjustment layer, shape layer, and then the file, the video file on the bottom. Okay, with this layer highlighted, make sure that's highlighted. You can just click on it to highlight it. I want to go to filter, or effect, effect, stylize, and this time I want to go to glow. I'm going to click on that, and under the glow up here I should see glow intensity. That is right here. It's at 1. I want to set that to 2 instead of 1. And I'm just going to click outside of there for a minute, and then I'm starting to get a little glow. I don't know if you can see it. And then where it says glow glow colors, I want to click on that and make sure it says A plus B colors. And then right below that it says color looping. I want to click on that little lever and make sure it says sawtooth B is greater than A. Okay. And then the glow colors. I'm going to come down to here where I see the white in here. So it says color A. I'm going to double click on that little rectangle and I'm going to change this right here to where it's kind of blue, and I'm going to add a little blue color in there and say okay. All right. But that's up to you. If you want to add a little bit of different color, I just wanted to add some blue to this white. So it's very mild. But you can add a red or different color if you want. Okay, I got that. I'm going to close this up. And I'm going to duplicate this same layer, the same effect. Not layer, I'm sorry. Same effect. The glow effect. So to do that, I go to edit and I go to duplicate. Click on that. And then on this one, I want to go to the glow radius here. Where is my glow radius? Right here. It's set at 10. I want to change this. I'm just going to drag it all the way up to 200. And I might even go a little bit more. You can go anywhere from 200 up to 280. I'm going to do 280. So now when I move Big Blue back, I should have this glowing effect on my light.
This is a story about a mother and her two sons.
And if I let it render a couple times, it should
This is a story about a
get
mother
nice
and
and
her two
smooth.
sons. This is a story about a mother and her two sons.
And the point is, you can do anything with this. So let's say you have your footage and you wanted to have some lightning strike your subject, or maybe just as they spoke, I want to shoot out maybe some words. I could type in some words in here. I could use, it doesn't have to be the pen tool. It could be the text tool, and maybe I want to have my words animated and they're glowing in light. But this shows you how to do it, basically. I just did this whole thing just to show you. Just have the light going around him. But you can do, you're not limited to that. Okay? I'm done. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to Edit or File and say Export. And I'm going to say Export Adobe Premiere Pro project because I got it from Premiere. So I'm going to dynamic link it back. So I just click on that. And it's going to ask me to save it. I'm just going to hit save. It's already named. And now when I go back to Premiere, it should be in there. And it is. But it needs to be rendered. Right? So I'm going to go up to Sequence, Render Into Out. And let it render. And when this red line up here turns to all green, I'll know that it's good.
This is a story about a mother and her two sons.
Okay, I'm going to go to File, export this media, and make sure I name it. I'll name it Lighting in AE. And I'm going to make sure the location, I know where it's going. Right now it says light books folder lighting for AE. That's perfect. I'm going to hit export and wait till it exports, and I will submit that to Mr. Mick for my grade. All right. And that was it for the lighting and AE assignment. As I said, you can open this up and do your assignment, pause it, rewind it. If you missed a step, this is a good way to make sure. It says my video is exported. I'm good to go.